It should be good.
Huh? Well, these turned off. Mine's good.
Oh, I think it's this one. Oh, no, you got it. Is it green? It's not green. Oh, it's just going to trying.
There we go. Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Call to order this meeting in the Nettle Creek School Board. Show all more board members present with the exception of Mr. Sankey. Are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. All right, first we have approval and or correction of the regular board meeting minutes from July 29th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
See, any corrections? For discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 0. Anyone that wishes to address the board with public comment? We'll move on to financial items presented for board consideration and action. First, we have consideration approval of claims and payroll totaling $747,910.60. Claims totaling $838,938.34. HES ECA totaling $1,787.14. And junior senior high school ECA totaling $15,898.04. I have a motion.
So moved.
Both Sandy and that was Julie on the
Julie.
second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6-0. We'll move to school news.
Sorry, I accidentally, when I was updating the agenda, removed review of financial items. So I'm gonna turn it over to Mrs. Rushton
You're right.
and she is going to go.
That seemed off.
I know, I'm sorry. She's going to go through financial items
This'll be
tonight.
fast.
Yeah.
So far as the month of July goes, everything's pretty normal, nothing out of order, nothing questionable. Some of the errors that we had at the end of June have corrected. So this is a snapshot of each of our main funds. Education fund, the only thing that may be different from July is that it was a 3-pay month. So salaries and benefits will be higher than they have in the preceding months. And the same with operations. Our debt service, you will find an odd negative expense in the expenditure column. That was a duplicate payment from June that got credited back in July. So that's just a reflection of that correction. Rainy day, if you remember back in June, I said that when we rolled over our large CD, there was an error at the bank. We did not receive all of our interest. They made that correction in July and you'll see the full interest represented in the receipts. And that has officially bumped our rainy day up over $1 million. So that was exciting.
So one thing the board needs to think about on rainy day, in May, I think we did an additional appropriation to pay off our insurance debt, and some of those other negative accounts because of some errors previous years that we've been carrying. With all of the changes, we held off on doing that before June 31st or June 30th. And so that I think is probably, now that we actually see what the interest was off of that CD, now I think it would be a good time to go back and revisit. Do we want to use that rainy day to now clear those negative accounts so that at the December 31, we're not still carrying those over to be identified by audits again as well. Moving forward, just something to think about.
Remind me, what was the 232 from June? That was
the money that we kept out before we rolled it over into the new CD for another 18 months for the insurance and the ESSER negative.
that's what we were setting aside for that purpose. Yeah. Okay. And then the 124 is the interest earned.
True interest earned, yes.
Remind the total of those two things that we'd like to clear.
I don't know off the top of my head, but it was just under that $230, $230,000
I
mark.
thought that was the amount that was to cover both.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
Preschool, nothing changes here for the most part. Continuing to maintain our overall cash balance in our preschool fund. We have received some of our debt collection payments. We're starting to receive more of those, so that is helpful. Lunch fund, so a couple of things with that. No earth-shattering changes, maintaining, moving into a new school year. To answer your questions from June, you asked if we were allowed to use funds from our lunch fund to reimburse ourselves for a previous expense of paying off negative lunch debt. And I was told that we are not able to, because once they hit the 800, the lunch fund, they are considered government funds and they are not allowed to be moved to other fund numbers to cover previous expenses. Also, you asked about our increasing cash balance, and they told me that at this, we are encouraged to, obviously, the higher the cash balance, the better. However, they do not require a spend down plan until we reach about a 6-month cash balance. So that's somewhere around 350,000. So if we reach that amount, they will require us to have a spend down plan of these funds. The last time that happened, we put it towards updating some new equipment, but the lunch fund money has to stay in the lunch fund.
Okay. But I guess that's a lesson to us then, that we're better off just leaving it in the red for
We can manage.
perpetually. And
I would agree. Snapshot of our investment report. And then our grant reimbursements. We have been, Maria, Emily, and I have met to look at our grants because the due date on many of these to be spent is September 30th of this year. So we've got a plan to spend down the majority of these, at least into the threshold that they will carry over any remaining funds over to the next grant. Or if we have to completely deplete them by 9/30, we're in the process of making sure that happens and using our funds to our advantage. And that's it.
thank you. Any questions?
No.
If not, we will now move to schools.
Mrs. Locke, you're up first.
Okay, so I feel like it's been forever.
Mhm.
So just.
It's been a long week.
Back a little bit, back to school night. Back to school night has become just a wonderful, wonderful event, and it is actually really well attended by the community. We've got kids coming in with their parents, obviously trying, bringing in their supplies and meeting their teachers, or just walking around the school building to get acclimated. We also try to provide all kinds of different services that night as well. We have the trustee's office was there. The logo shop sells t-shirts, Emerson Elementary, Boy Scouts, PTO, and then we have the health department that comes in and provides shots for students who are still leaving. So our staff has done a great job of making sure that we are meeting all the students' needs. We'll continue to do an exceptional job of changing staffing needs while continuing to provide our students with support and services to the community. We're off to a really good start. We're excited and we're gonna make sure our kids retaining all they possibly can and learning all.
Thank you, Mrs. Locke. Mr. McCaslin, you're up.
So mine were typed up obviously for last week, so.
Yeah.
School year's off to a great start. It's been a pretty smooth transition. Students seem to be doing a good job with the new wireless communication device. I think that was a big concern for us going into it. We've obviously seen a couple things with that, but for the most part, overall, we're very pleased with where our students have been and understanding our roles with that. The junior senior high school marching band placed 10th out of 34 teams in the state fair, and that was awesome to see. Our kids did a great job. The amount of support they get from students, parents, community members is awesome. Mrs. Sanders does a phenomenal job with that group. We're extremely proud of them. And then our athletes are right back in action, and was able to get out and watch volleyball last night, and we got off to a great start there, winning 3-0 with our varsity girls, and tennis in action and golf in action, and all that's going on. And Friday we've got football and some cross country coming up, and we're excited for our athletes to get back in a little sense of normalcy. Is kind of what I felt last night. It was fun to see the community out smiling, clapping hands. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. In district news, I just want to say thank you to our community. I won't go into a lot of detail, but I think it is just, we've all been reminded of how great of a community that we live in, that supports our schools, supports our needs, and just our entire community as well. Last week, it was challenging, a new experience. You don't typically miss days for school due to rain. And so navigating that, I just want to say I appreciate the parent and family flexibility there. I feel good about, understanding that a lot of our parents didn't realize, but now we know we're suffering some very challenging times. And so I know it's a challenging decision to come back to school when we still have some situations that our parents are dealing with, but I think it helped give a sense of normalcy, like Mr. McCaslin said, to see kids with their friends, get a meal, maybe offer some time for parents to not have to take care of kids and worry about them and deal with some of the other things that we have going on. Our administrators and teachers have been very flexible, making sure that our student needs are met first before we're expecting them to learn this week. And so, I talked to Mrs. Locke and Mr. McCaslin today and feel like the first 2 days were a great start, but it was still working out some kinks. And today we seem to be back to the normal school year. I appreciate our community and just family's flexibility through all of that. I received a thank you card from Bill Powell and the American Legion Post 333 for allowing them to use the high school parking lot for the firework display at Jubilee Day. So I just wanted to share that with the board. Huge celebration. Ivory 3 results came out last week, I believe, or this week. Nettle Creek was at a 95.6% pass rate, which is the second highest in our county. Centerville had 100%. Northeastern was at 95.5. Western Wayne at 83.6. And I am missing, Richmond. Richmond was at 86.4. So just excited not only for our students, but our second and third grade teachers who put so much time into our students in preparing a strong reading foundation. But it even starts before second and third grade. Our preschool teachers, our kindergarten teachers, our first grade teachers, our students have to be ready for those skills when they go into second grade. And that comes from every single year prior to that. And so it really is a celebration of everything that we have going on and that's going really well in our pre-K, our kindergarten, first, second, and third grade students. Our SAT scores, we again were second in the county on combined scores for SAT, above the slightly below the state average, but still working for that. That's something that's newer that they're tracking for accountability. So we'll continue to focus in on those and see how we can continue to support student success on SAT. Enrollment and class size update. Kindergarten, I'll go with overall first. We're still sitting at that down 11 students from our spring count. Our spring ADM count was 1079, and we're currently at 1068. So just from a funding standpoint, down $80,000, 798. Of ADM, the money follows the student. And so when you lose students, you lose that money that you were counting on for them. I believe this might be, I'd have to double check, the first year where we have actually went down in a count from spring to fall. Usually we gain some students back in the fall, and that number is slightly larger than our spring count. Just to compare fall to fall, so 1 year ago from now, last fall we were at 1090, and again this year we're at 1068. Our kindergarten class has 69 students in it. First grade is sitting at 73, and that is our largest class sizes with 3 sections of 25 students, 23 students, and 25 students. Been meeting with the first grade team to evaluate how that is going. As you can imagine, it's very challenging to have 25 first grade students in a classroom and one teacher, and trying to provide the level of instruction that prepares them to be successful on iRead. So continuing to have conversations around first grade. Second grade has 82 students in it. Third grade has 83. Fourth grade has 72. Fifth grade is 65. Sixth grade is 81. Seventh grade is 89. Eighth grade is 89. Ninth grade is 94. 10th grade is 82. Our big cohort of 11th graders is 112. I'll be really sad when that group graduates. And our senior class is 76. So again, if you start at third grade and you go down, when you think about the next incoming kindergarten class, we started at 83, and then it went to 82, and then it went to 73, and then it went to 69. And so we're not seeing those kindergarten students, those bigger classes of 80s, 90s, come in, and then our next graduating classes are going to be 94, 82, 112, and 76. And so anytime you graduate a larger number than you're bringing in, you're already down funding from the very beginning. A challenge that we will have to continue to evaluate time and time again, year after year, before we start making decisions. I do have a video that shares from a very large, simple scale on school financing that talks about how each education operations debt is funded, what you can use that money for. I was hoping to show it tonight, but I believe the lightning has hit part of our electric and sound system in here, and so we'll hope that we can show that in September. But I think it's helpful because our community needs to understand that the operations, we're doing well in our operations, but we can only spend that money on certain things. And so that's what makes it partially challenging, is because overall it looks like you could have a lot of money, but when you can only spend specific buckets on specific things, or they're funded revenue from a revenue standpoint, specific ways, either ADM from the state or taxes, there becomes a lot of layers in the financial aspect of schools. And so hopefully we can show that. I'll push that out on social media as well. I think it's very informative. And then the only other thing I have for district news is just continuing to help support not only our school families still dealing with very difficult challenges due to the flooding, but also our community. We will continue to share information to support our families. We have a team of us that have a pretty good list of specific families. If there is anybody out there who hasn't yet asked for assistance, we have so many resources. Please do so. And you can do so by emailing that assistance at nettlecreek.k12.in.us. And that's all I have from the district.
Ms. Schaefer, move to board member reports, concerns, and requests for information. Start on my right tonight, Mr. Banning.
Hey, Sean.
It's all Marcia's paper now.
Glad everything went great, getting back to school. And this last week's been, I think, very humbling and overwhelming for everybody. But it really shows that Nettle Creek School District's a great place to live, seeing just everyone coming out to help their neighbors. And it's been pretty amazing to see.
Thank you, Ms. Laura.
I agree with that. Our own Emily Schaefer has been amazing as well. I don't know what my husband would have done without her also being active on her end. So that's been great. But one other thing, aside from all that, our exchange student came during the flood. And
Welcome, I said, welcome to Hagerstown.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be here for the first time.
I think he thinks he's come to a third world country because we still don't have internet at our house. So, but I was so impressed Monday morning, Mr. McCaslin, thank you for taking him around because I thought nobody's going to be available. This is going to be just an awful beginning. You know, I was just, and I prepared him for that. Like probably no one will be available. It's fine. Everybody was available. Like you guys made yourselves available. And I appreciate that so much. He went into the athletic office and announced he wants to play American football. And Mr. Snodgrass has sent all the, I mean, it's just, he's been so welcomed. And he said to me, Americans are nice. He said, and so helpful. Germans are very reserved. He said, I had a great first day.
Well, that's so exciting.
All because of you guys. So thank you.
I just got to chime in on that. Cody being on the football team, he said that they were just asking him all kinds of questions. And Cody was telling me about this today. And he said, very first thing is there fat people in Germany? My son. And he's like, well, yeah, just not as much as America. I'm like, Cody, do you always have to ask about fat? Anyway, they cracked up over that.
Yeah, that's exciting. Thank you for sharing that out, Ruthie, because it's the first one we've had in a few years. And so it's not, I hope, exciting for you and your family and for Calvin, but yeah, exciting for us as well.
Yeah.
It's a great experience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ruthie, for doing that.
Yes, of course. Happy to.
Yeah, we had exchange students previously. It's just a blessing. It is.
They are. Yeah.
You learn so much. It's so good. So,
Yep, you're up.
Mrs. Schraub,
Mrs. Schraub.
I echo the things that have been said, but also back to the back to school event. I hear so many wonderful things about that. The energy, how much fun everybody has. So thank you to you and your team. It's pretty awesome.
Want to get a DJ next time.
But it's fun, it's festive, it's, you know, energy and it's exciting. And so that's obviously a reflection of everybody involved.
I remember when the older ones, it was just happy to get that free popcorn. Yeah, I mean, it's came a long way at the elementary days from the free popcorn.
Anything else?
I'm done. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Moss.
Just going to echo what everyone else is saying, and I want to add, with all seriousness, I have heard this week that Mrs. Schaefer needs to run for state legislature.
She's not running
heard
for
that, and I
anything
said,
because of
"Stop
what we
talking."
need, so.
And She needs to teach the people in Washington DC some things.
Agreed.
And then I heard
That's fine.
maybe if that's the case, the White House will be in Hagerstown. But no, she's done a phenomenal job, her and her team. And I mean, you'll see something, a need, and within 5 or 10 minutes, she's got it taken care of. I mean, thank you. Thank you. Just phenomenal job. And I will back you for state legislation.
Not my wheel.
After your education. Thank you, Ms. Houghton.
Yes, I echo every single thing that everybody has said. And us over there at that table, we got muddy out of the trailer park together. But Emily, every time I saw you, you either had your tennis shoes on and you were running, or you had your poop kickers on and you were in the mud. So thank you for all of that. I'm gonna like totally jump, go somewhere else now. A couple things, and I know we've been through a ton, but I'm just gonna start bringing them up and bringing them up. Can we please think about having start date after band day next year? So just a conversation to start having this year, because I know you will talk to all your teachers, but it's, I don't think it's fair for all the ones that have traveled all summer long, and then it's a school day and we don't get to go watch. I mean, the parents have that choice, don't get me wrong, but. Well, and then back to school night, it was amazing, especially up at the high school too. Billy was able to take the boys and get uniforms for gym without forgetting, because it was all sold up there. That was great. Echoes on the elementary back to school night. I don't even think there's another thing that wasn't there for every single family to get by whatever they want. I know that we've all been helping out Greens or Cambridge, Hagerstown. I'm sure that we saw the post for Williamsburg, and I started really seeing some posts pop up about Greensburg, and then I saw your lovely little tiger van. And I was wondering, I know it was donations towards our city, but we have students in Greensburg and some all the way out towards Williamsburg. Wanted to bring them in. If we can't maybe offer that little bus and park it in those communities.
Yes,
maybe.
so Marla Lieberman had the phenomenal idea. And so we have been loading the bus up. We were gonna wait till tomorrow night. And then Mr. Katie said, I can take it. So we went out, sent it out to Greensburg. That is our plan. If you remember back in COVID, we did lunches. And so that's
what
kind
made
of
me
the
think of it.
same idea. We have an opportunity here to only take care of our people who are affected by the water, but really just all of our community. And so we're going to take advantage of that. We did load up a truckload of supplies, and we sent to Williamsburg today to the church. We have been, I have a couple of
community.
I think we took some stuff on Monday too, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we've taken quite a bit of stuff, but I have a couple of text message groups. And one of them being some leaders around Wayne County that are coordinating between Cambridge, Williamsburg, Nettle Creek, Richmond, Reed, those types of things. If somebody sees a need in one area, everybody is like, yep, we have that, we can send that. And so not only has our community been working really well together, but all communities have been working really well together. We've received, was on a call yesterday, and church, one of these days when things calm down and I get my thoughts organized to thank everybody, I will do that, but I won't, I'll mess it up. But they had, I think, 10 pallets of food, ravioli, mac and cheese, all of that. They jumped on a call with the superintendents for Western Wayne, Centerville, and us, and we just said divide it, and we will continue to distribute to communities. The assistance email, we have a couple of kids in Williamsburg, so we have been intentional about checking on them. But every time we go into a community, if there are other people standing around who need something, my team is very good at jotting down that need, gathering it up, and sending out deliveries. I mean, people have been like, Emily Schaefer is amazing. I could not have done any of this without the amazing people that have stepped in to help me. People here at school, friends in the community, just anybody. I mean, I can say, hey, I need somebody to just send deliveries out and go set on front porches like we're Walmart right now. Send us your list. We put it all together and then give it to somebody and they take it. I mean, none of this would be possible. I can't physically do all of this by myself or even organize it. It has taken an army of people to collectively think about and how can we best meet the needs of our community. And it's because of that group that, not because of me, but because of that group, everybody together, that we're starting to see some successes. I mean, we still have some houses that don't have water, that are having some electric problems, but we're continuing to work through those. I mean, I've reached out to resources of things that I don't even know, looking at roofs, foundations, floorings. Does it just need cleaned, or are we in a place where this has to be gutted because of mold and things like that? And people, I have found that if you just ask, people are more than willing to help. I think so many times we are so prideful that we don't want to ask for help. Emily Schaefer has realized in the last week that if you just ask, people will help you and just get all of us through this. And so it really has just taken a huge army of people to coordinate all this and take care of our families and our communities, all of our communities. Good stuff. I hate that it's a massive amount of water and people are still living like they are and all the damage it's done, but there's a lot of good that has come out of this situation as well.
Thank you, Emily. Really, thank you. Two more things. I know that we discussed this probably, it's been about 3 years, 4 years. I know Sean was, I think the three of us might have been there. Looking into the future, I think that we should start talking about maybe online schooling, homeschooling, and having them combined with our school. Just thoughts. So as we move forward through this year, because I've seen other school corporations already putting the word out for that. I know fifth grade lost a couple this year, really good students, but they're just trying, and I've heard a bunch of other people talking about it too, doing homeschooling. So, but I just know the fifth grade because the girls are in fifth grade. And last thing, maybe a good note, we can go down to like 4-day work week. I've really been reading into that too. So, but that's it.
I will follow up with you on that. You have to meet some
Like a grade I've been reading.
Yeah, and some other guidelines with that. I can bring that in September for you.
You don't have to right now. I mean, I was approached before everything happened.
Yeah.
But I just kind of still wanted to.
Yeah, well, I think it's it's 4-day work week. Great. I think that's what people hear, but when it's like, oh, these are the criteria.
And they were strict. I
Yeah,
mean, moving forward, because the other people have looked into it, and the one school that was granted it, they're on their last year and they don't think they're going to meet the grade for it. But anyways, that was my last thought that I just
think
wanted to
it's
share.
good for people to know that maybe sometimes that's why we're not moving that way. Not just because we're saying no.
Right.
Yeah, I will bring that.
That
Thank
was my
you.
longest. I'm so sorry. I never did. Thank you.
You never got it.
I like to talk, but I don't like have specific, really good points. I just agree with everybody else.
Well done, Marcy.
Finally.
Thank you, Captain.
I won't add a whole lot because I think it's been said. I'll echo the same thing. I think what's been most impressive is just the speed, the clarity, the communication that has taken place and filtered down. And as you said, you couldn't have done it alone, but you led the people, you brought people along, you instilled that idea in people that we can get things done, and we've shown that. So thank you for that. The only other thing I'll add is, because they haven't been mentioned yet, we've talked about all the adults in this room and around town that have helped out, but our students have been all over the place, and it's been amazing to see them helping out and leading some of the efforts and putting in the work. And, they've been out there with everybody else doing the same amount of work and probably more in some cases, both at our schools and also just at people's houses and around town. So just wanted to call them out. It's been pretty awesome to see. So
Lessons that are so, so valuable that the four walls can never teach. I mean, it was amazing to see our kids out there. Amazing.
Yep. And that is all I have. So no old business. We'll move to personnel items presented for board consideration and action.
Personnel items, there are quite a few because of ECAs. A couple of things I want to highlight, mostly the non-certified is instructional assistants, on-call sub, and a change to our corporation nurse position. Right now, that position is 183 days contracted, and we would like to change that to splitting that position into two different positions. One, so a little more than half, I guess you could say, contracted at 127 days, and the other one contracted at 56 days. And that really is just trying to meet the needs of the individual who is in that position, see if it works. The individual who is our corporation nurse now will remain our corporation nurse and responsible for all of our state reporting and things like that. Both of our school buildings will be covered. They will have somebody here every day, or at least plan to, unless we can't get a sub due to sick or PTO. But really just splitting that position, it's not an additional cost, but it's trying to meet people where they are, keep good employees, and think outside of the box. That's a challenging position to hire, simply because they can go into the health career field and probably make a little bit more money. They can per hour. And so that is the recommendation on the corporation nurse position. We have 5 resignations and then a long list of ECA recommendations. And the only thing I will add to the ECA recommendations is sometimes we recommend individuals for the position, and then for whatever reason, sometimes we don't have, for example, math academic team because students just didn't come out for that, or variety show because students didn't sign up for that. Obviously, we pay the ECA stipends when the work is concluded. And so if something decides not to quote unquote run for the 26-27 school year, then we obviously don't pay that stipend. But as long as the needs and the responsibilities of the ECA are fulfilled, then obviously we for sure filled those stipends. So that is a list of all of the ECAs and then 1 ECA volunteer. I would ask that you approve the personnel report as presented.
So moved.
Julie, second. Mike. Any discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6-0. We are striking our final item, saving that for next board meeting, correct?
Yeah, I will just say, obviously, we have to do some re-advertising because of the flood, and we could not get people in on Wednesday night when we were supposed to regularly meet. Normally, that's not a problem, but some of our items, such as an additional appropriation and some debt projects, have to be advertised. So that one is off the agenda, and we'll re-advertise for both of those, which brings us to
Items of information.
our special board meeting is Wednesday, September 2nd. We're having that additional board meeting so that we can stay on the timeline for our debt project. And then we'll have our next regular meeting, not on August 12th, but it will be, my apologies,
September 9th is what's on our.
September 9th. Yes.
We're in the LGI room
Yes.
at 6:30. And we are adjourned at 7:09.